Hey guys, my name is Jennifer and I am Genevieve Designs. Today we're going to make the universal ink station from the new set of templates that I just released, the Essentials ink station and garbage bowls with the bonus corner chomper stand insert. So I've created a playlist for all of these things because I'm going through and making an individual video for each one. So we've already done the square ink stations. They look like this, the single, the double, so that's in that playlist. We've already done the rectangle, single, and double. By the way, I got me some new ink pads. I have the small versions of these. These are new. It comes in a set of 4, but I really like them because sometimes you want to have the more permanent version of the distress colors, right? Because the distress reacts with water. But anyway, so the rectangle versions with the lift box was the last video, and then this time we're going to do the universal size. Now I've already put together the double universal ink station, but it's the exact same process as the single universal. I will be sure to link that playlist for all of these up here in the cards and down below in the description box if you want to see, if you want to make one for the distress or one for the archival, or you want to make a garbage bow, which is coming up next. I'll make sure to link that up there. There's also a special Amazon list for these projects that I have listed down below. So it's like a Amazon list, and everything that I'm using in there is put in there. Everything that I'm using to the best that I can is put in that list. And then other things are added. So all that information is down below, like other things that are not in Amazon, they're also down there below as well. So it's a drop down menu. You just hit the down arrow, the show more arrow. We call it the description box. It's just down below the video down here. So anyways, so I am not gonna make both this time. Now the past 2 videos I have made both, mostly on film. So it's the same process, except there's not going to be a division. There's not going to be a division between the ink pad and the blending tool area. So I'm just going to grab this one piece here. Now if you're making the double, you want to grab this piece and do the exact same thing. So if you want to make the double, make sure you get the one that says double. This is my workbook. This is a set of templates that's available in my Etsy shop. I'll have it linked down below. This is my workbook. I literally print off one full set of the templates onto regular paper, and then I laminate each piece. I go through and laminate all of them. Then I print out another set onto cardstock, and I cut them out and score them and all of that, and I put them on to the laminated sheets. That's how I do most of my workbooks these days. So these are not available for sale. These workbooks, you have to make them on your own, but they're super, super, super easy. But I keep getting asked questions about that, so I thought I would just, share really quick. I thought I turned this off. Sorry. There we go. There we go. Okay, so I've got the template for the single. Will that be big enough? Oh, it will. Wait a minute, I actually have a piece of chipboard that's perfect size. This is medium weight chipboard, and it is 30-point chipboard. I have it linked in my Amazon. Do not use the heavyweight chipboard. Do not use corrugated cardboard. You can use flimsier chipboards and just glue them together bit by bit until you get this thickness, which is about 1/16. You don't want it any thicker than this. This is the perfect weight, and it's very sturdy. So for those of you who were concerned about whether or not it was sturdy, it is very sturdy. And this, you know, we used this same weight chipboard when I made the Crafty Companions, and people were worried about that being sturdy. But the way I designed it, the way I put it together, it is extremely sturdy. And if you want to check out my Crafty Companion, I will link that whole playlist up here and down below as well. And this is all the things that you can make. And I think we're going to be making one of these mini racks to hold the tape. I talked about it in the last video. we're going to make a mini rack to hold all of our tape in the same paper to go along with all of these. What do you guys think? But anyway, okay, so that's where the first generation of the ink station came from, was the Crafty Companion. Okay, so I did the outline of the edge, outside edge. Now I'm going to go through and fold these over and trace the outside edge, or yeah, trace the outside edge of each one of these flippity flaps. And then I am going to cut these apart. So this is a Score cutting mat, and this is my new ruler that I found that I love. It's a quilting ruler, but it has little grippies on the bottom, and it doesn't have a metal edge, but I haven't seemed to have had a problem with that. So this is a Scotch craft knife, and if you notice, I kind of push it up next to that plastic ruler and it kind of bends a little bit. I don't know, I seem to be getting a really good cut this way. But I like the grippies because it doesn't move. I always end up getting things crooked with the other ruler because it's kind of slippery. So, oh, I forgot to do a step. I'm going to do it here with just a second. Let me get this little sliver off right there. I like to mark it so that when I go put it back together, I put it back together correctly. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That way I know exactly where these pieces fit back together. It's just a little time saver. And it's neat. It's a neater result as well. So again, when you're cutting thicker chipboard, just take several passes instead of trying to put all your might into that first pass. Just do several lighter passes, and it's much easier on your hands. Yeah. And then we are going to put it back together. I was going to say, did I get them all? So I'm just going to lay them out where they're supposed to go. And what I like to do is I just like to take some tape and match them up and put a piece down. It's like an extra hand, you know, when we go to do this next step. Put a piece of tape, or match them up and put a piece of tape down. So this is the universal ink station. And it's basically, you know, anything will fit. So it's kind of like the first generation ink station. So this is the first generation ink station, and it's from the Crafty Companion. And this one will hold the square pads, the rectangle pads. It won't hold everything out there, but it will hold quite a variety of ink pads. So this is kind of like that. I've had this since what, 2019. It doesn't hold, though. It doesn't hold like the giant pad. I've got so many sitting over here. It doesn't hold like these big things, but. So this was made using a component of the Crafty Companion. So I just adapted what I had to fit my needs at the time. So this was the first generation. And it's more like the universal size. Although it's not the same. Where do I have a prototype here? It's not the same as that. It's a little smaller. It might even be a little wider. But anyway, so. And if you've been watching these videos, you know, I've already talked about it before. I thought somebody was in the house. It's somebody outside weed eating. Today is Sunday, and we bought, my granddaughter's birthday is coming up. Her second birthday is coming up, and we bought them her a playground, like a swing set kind of thing. And I thought it'd be great for, you know, both grandkids, but anyway, so I bought it for her birthday. And so today they're going over there to put it together, even though the birthday party isn't till next weekend and her birthday isn't until a little bit after that. But yeah, I'm excited. So it's quiet in the house, so I'm trying to record it on a Sunday. I usually don't like to record on Sundays, but I'm gonna go over there in a little while and play with her on it. I'm so excited. Okay. I don't know what I was talking about, that it's Sunday. Oh, that's why it's quiet in the house, is because they're there. Okay, next step is, I think I'm going to use this. Well, this, I have scraps. Yeah, I'm going to use this and this. So this is a leftover piece of tape from something. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure this will fit. Yeah. So I will link all my tape resources down below. And I like to have, you can do the construction strip method, which I did that method with the square ink stations. I showed you how to do that method, but this is my favorite method. I like to just cover the whole thing. I might just come away from the edge a little bit. I like to cover the whole thing in tape and then cover the whole thing in paper. I just find it to be a cleaner, sturdier, constructed item. Alright, so I'm going to keep all my pieces. I usually don't keep these little bitty slivers, but I guess you can if you want to. Okay, so then I'm going to take and cut these little squares out. So this morning I was sorting through all these different paper collections that I've got that I want to start another album. I'm just not sure. I asked in Facebook if y'all wanted a Christmas album, if y'all just wanted a non-specific album, a fall album. Most of you guys said Christmas, which obviously it's coming, so that makes sense. But I also think I want to do like a quick fall one too, because my birthday is Halloween. I don't want to do a Halloween one, but I want to do a fall one. So again, my birthday is on Halloween, and I kind of just want to do something along those vibes that's not Halloween, just fall. So I want to do that first. I was thinking about maybe trying to do a quick album and then do a Christmas album. That's what I was thinking. But I've got all these collections, so I kind of want to do a video. After I get done making all these videos, I want to do a video of all these paper collections that I have, just to show you, because they're all so pretty. I don't know. I haven't decided if I'm going to do that yet or not. Alright, so now I'm going to put this on some white cardstock. And I am going to go in the middle here. I'm using 80-pound white cardstock. Okay, the next thing I want to do is I'm going to fold all of these edges back on themselves and give it a good burnish. I want to make a good crease so that when we fold this all up together, it goes really smoothly and easily, and it's neater. So again, all the same steps for this double universal ink station, all the same. So I'm going to bring back these little squares that I cut off, and I'm going to put them back into the little corners, right? There's no point in wasting the perfect piece of adhesive. So now I'm going to go and slice it away from one side of that corner piece, just one, so that it's like loose, right? And then I take my scissors and do like a diagonal cut, and straighten that edge up. Sometimes the reason I straighten that edge up is because sometimes the tape sticks out a little further than the paper. So that way it just ensures that there's no tape, there isn't any adhesive just sticking out by itself. Already did them all. So I was trying to think of other uses for this large or double universal ink station. It doesn't have to be an ink station. It could be, you could hold your ephemera pieces when you're working on a project. There's a lot of things that we can do with those. Even if you make one specifically for your ink pads, you know, and then you're like, well, I don't know, what do I do with the universal one? So it's kind of like a crafty tray, just like from my crafty companion. It's kind of like that same concept where you can use it to hold things while you're working, right? So you take the tape backing off, and then you bring up those corners together, and where you can see just a little bit of white paper in between the two. You don't want to overlap the corners, just bring them together and then burnish those into place. So give me some ideas of what you guys think we could use these trays for. These universal ink station trays. I'm thinking I'm going to put feet on them. I don't know if I'll put feet on this one. I haven't decided, because this one's kind of like my original, and I've only got a few feet left. And I'm getting ready to do my garbage bowls, and I've got this one, but I want to make another one to match. But I've lost my train of thought. But I want it to be for my corner chomper, and I want to put feet on that one as well. So anyway, we'll see. We'll see. Okay, so at this point, we're going to wrap the edges. Now, I've already done the math, and I just need to find that piece of paper. So what you want to do is, on two sides, you want to just measure from inside to inside. And you want two of those with whatever this measurement is by 1.5 inch. And then on the other side, you want to go whatever that measurement is plus 1 inch, and then by 1.5. So in this case, you only need 4 of these strips, and I have cut myself 2 at 2 3/4 by 1.5 and 2 6 5/8 by 1.5. So the 2 pieces for the end. Uh-oh, that doesn't look right. Uh-oh, did I do the wrong math? I don't know. Well, I'm going to use them. I'm not going to waste them. And then I put 1 inch tape on one side, and this is, I think, 1/2 inch tape on this side. This is cherry on tops tape. So I've already pre-done everything, since this is the 3rd ink station video. I've already pre-done all of this. So what you want to do on the smaller pieces is take that 1/2 inch piece off. Let me pull my garbage bag over here. You want to hold it up. You want to center it. Yeah, I mean, I'm really short here, but that's okay. You want to hold it up against that piece there that still has the tape backing on it, center it, and press it down on the bottom. And then you take this 1 inch tape off, bring that up like that, and then wrap it around. I still don't know why I did that. It's very strange. But that's okay. I mean, we're going to be wrapping those edges anyway. So the other side. Burnish. So on then the other pieces, you want to take the 1 inch part off first, and then you want to kind of center that side and butt it right up next to where that score mark is, and then pull this up to that side. Then you want to stand it on its side and remove that 1/2 inch. So if you guys are making all of these with me, you're already pros at this, aren't you? Then you want to kind of roll it, and I'm going to burnish it just a little, maybe even pinch it just a little. Then flip it, roll it, burnish it, pinch it, right? Then we're going to take and snip a little wedge out, a little corner out of this bottom. Whoops. Sometimes the corner comes off when you do that. Sometimes it doesn't. Fold the little short pieces in. Pull that corner piece off. Flip over. Same thing up top. We want to kind of cut a wedge. Fold those pieces up over the top and in. I like to give it a burnish really quick. Sometimes I forget to do that. Pull the corner pieces in. Fold this down over that top piece and into the inside. Burnish. Right? Looking good. I'm going to do the same thing to this side. Alright, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this is the Walnut Stain Distress Oxide. I just put a little drop, got it wet with just plain old water. Look, oh my gosh. I must have a leak. And I'm going to take a water brush, or you could just use a regular paintbrush. It does not matter. And I am going to paint the inner, what are these called? These inner edges? Does that sound right? These inner joints. So I'm doing this before I mat, just so that I don't get it all over the mats when I put the mats in here. So and this also gives it time to dry. So I've obviously already had that in there from where I did this one. So I did this one the same way, right? So I've just kept this nearby because I keep doing them the same way. And then I'm going to ink these up. I'm going to ink the whole thing inside and out on the edges. Oh, you guys, I've got ink everywhere. So I'm going to do that and then I'm going to be right back. Okay, I feel like somehow my camera's gotten moved so far away. I'm going to scoot y'all back in. Maybe. How's that look? I mean, I see why I've done it, but there we go. Okay, that is as good as I'm going to get it right now. But I have already printed off the mats. So in the set of templates, the single universal ink station, there's the outside mats and the inside mats on the same page. The double universal, oh, those are stuck together. The outside and the inside are on two separate pages. So the inside mats I printed with one of my scripty papers. I have it linked down below. And, or I'm sorry, the inside, did I say inside or outside? The inside of the mats, I've used one of my scripty papers, linked down below. The outside is this beautiful printable here. And I have, where is it at? I will link that shop down below, or I'll link the listing down below. She actually sold out of it the other day, and somebody contacted me and said it's already gone. So I contacted her and she relisted it. She just, you know, a lot of times we don't notice things like that right away. So if you let us know, we can totally fix things like that most of the time. So this is the paper. These are 12 inch by 12 inch printable papers, and this is the one I'm using throughout this whole set. I just love it. It's just beautiful. But there's 12, what did I say? 10. There's 10 different designs in this listing, and they're all really pretty. I just happened to pick this one as the one. I mean, I would put this on my wall, you guys. If anybody has any of this wallpaper, I would love it. Okay, anyway, I will link that listing down below. But it's beautiful. So for the single universal, I just printed it on one. I printed this out first on my 8.5 by 11 cardstock, and then ran it through my printer again with this on it. So now I just need to cut them all out. So this is the inside mat and this is the outside mat. So I could, if I wanted to, I could print on the back here like the scripty papers, and then that way the inside mat would be the same as this, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to leave it as it is. So I'm going to take a minute and trim these out. They are different. They're different in size, so be aware. Make sure you use the right one for your inside and outside. Okay, so actually I'm going to cut the inside one first. So I'm going to cut these out, all the different individual pieces, and then I will be back. Alright, I have both of them cut out. So this is my outside, this is my inside. I am going to start on the outside. So I'm going to take some art glitter glue and attach these down. I'm not even going to ink them up on the edges with the white card showing. I'm just going to come back later and ink up around the whole thing again. It's the easiest way instead of doing every tedious individual little edge. So that's my take on it. And this paper just beautiful. I love it. Got a new battery coming. I just changed my, I forgot what I was saying. I go through batteries like nobody's business. Like I was recording, I think the squaring station, and I went through 3 batteries. It's like they won't, I mean, they do have a, you know, batteries do have a battery life, or shelf life, a battery life. They do have a shelf life, so it's kind of frustrating. So I ordered a new one, hopefully to be, so I'll have another one. You know, I'll have another one in the rotation. I'll have to put a date on it, I think, this time. Okay, so I did have to cut my side pieces down just ever so slightly because they were too tall. So I've talked about that in previous videos where I left them longer. That way, if you wanted to like keep that whole thing as a whole and stick it in as an insert, you could. But yeah, so they were too long. So I just trimmed them down a little bit, and that's no big deal. So I'm gonna install the inside mats really quick. Okay, that is all done. Now I'm going to go back, and I think I'll start on the outside, and I'm just going to grab those edges just one more time, just to try to cover any of that white cardstock that might be showing from when I trimmed it all back out. And if it doesn't cover it all, that's okay. It's okay. This is mine, and I'm not selling it to you. I'm not claiming it is, you know, an antique or made of anything special, except made by someone special, maybe. You know, I feel like that's what handmade things are. They're just made by someone special. And what a great gift to give somebody, something handmade, especially something useful, in my opinion. And pretty. Like I keep saying, these are like little pieces of furniture in my workspace. Just little pieces of beauty, in my opinion. I keep saying that, in my opinion. And it is my opinion. So, and I'm allowed to have it. I think it's great. Okay, so now we have both the double and the single universal. So you could use the double for these giant ink pads, even though I don't use these. As a matter of fact, I should get rid of them. I've got a whole slew of them, and anyway, it's neither here nor there. And what was the other? Oh, there was the reason, actually the main reason I made the universal one was because I realized once I made the rectangle one, I realized that not all rectangle ink pads are the same size. Like, you know, sometimes you just have to sometimes you just have to make something. This is why I make so many prototypes and so many mock-ups, because sometimes you just have to keep doing it and make sure that you're covering all your bases. You know what I mean? And sometimes things get lost. Well, anyway, this is like this ink pad here will not fit in the regular rectangle ink station, but it will fit in the universal. And again, you would want to make, whoops, look at, did you see that? Did you see how easy that lid come off? Let me not get that. That one's good and snug. You're going to want to make one of your lift boxes to go up under them so that they are up a little higher. Now these are going to be a little bit more difficult, a little bit more tricky to work with, because you're still going to have to maybe even pick it up depending on the ink station, or depending on the ink. The distress inks will fit in here as well. Let me get mine out of here. All right, the distress ink will fit in here as well, and it's a little bit more snug and there's a lot more space there. You could also do the acetate, where you put a piece of acetate like I did. I'm not gonna, I guess I should maybe I should, I don't know. Maybe I'll make one for this. This one, I just feel like I might use this for something else than ink. I might use this for something different. So I don't know. So I don't know if I want to waste the whole piece of craft plastic on the inside of this one just yet. But like for the original ink station, I cut a piece of craft plastic and covered the whole bottom of that. So maybe that's what I should do here. But anyway, so any of the sizes, like I said, any of the rectangles, there's oval ones, they'll fit in here. So if you just want to have one with your blending tool right there together, and again, you'll probably have to pay a little bit more attention to when you open it up. Like this one, how it opened up so nicely. You know, obviously it's not going to do the same thing over here. Even with the lift box, which we made the lift box in the last one. You guys, if you want to check that out, there's a timestamp in that video if you want to check it out. That video is, I'll link that video up here. So anyway, I've already forgotten my train of thought. So obviously the ink pads aren't snug in the universal as they are in the other two specific ones, right? The ones that are made for specific ink pads. Okay, so I don't know. I'll think about maybe putting a piece of craft plastic there. We'll see. But I do want to put feet on this one, and I might put feet on both, because I'm pretty sure I've got some more coming. At least I hope. If not, I can go to Hobby Lobby and get some. But these I have in my Amazon list. These were actually the wrong color, but they look pretty good with this paper collection. So I think you come in, you get 8 to a package. I'm not going to use the screws, but anyway, they're super easy to do. You just flip it over. Get you something like a Fabri-Tac, and I've used Fabri-Tac every time I've used these type of feets. Every time I've used these type of feet, and it's worked out really well. I have never had an issue with it. Knock on wood. Oh, I'm surprised I didn't wake my dog and get her a barking. Anything knocking, it doesn't matter where it's coming from. She thinks it's somebody at the door. Any sort of knocking noise. Oops, I may have gotten too much glue on that one. But alright, I'm going to add the feet. you guys, that is all we're gonna do for these universal ink stations. And again, they're not meant to be snug or tight like the other ones, like this, the square one. It's meant to be snug. The rectangle is meant to be snug so that the lid comes off easily. These are just meant for a universal overall stamp or stamp pad, right? You can put any of them in here that you want. You can put, actually, you can put anything in here that you want, to be quite honest. So anyway, that's all we're gonna do today. And next video, we're gonna make some garbage bowls. Well, I'm gonna make the large garbage bowl. I'm not gonna make the small garbage bowl because it's made the exact same way as the large, but we're gonna make the large garbage bowl, and then after that, we're gonna make the insert for the corner chomper. So that's exciting. I'm excited about that. And then we're gonna make another one of these mini racks. I am pretty sure we're gonna end up doing that because I want it to match. This paper is one of my favorites. It's from Mary & Smith a long time ago. This was actually one of the prototypes that I made when I was developing my crafty companion. Well, anyway, we're gonna make one of these, I think, to match all of this so that we can hold all of our sizes. If you're like me and you have all the sizes, because I do, I have all the sizes. I have one up in my crafty companion, the workstation over here. It's over here to this side of me, and it has a, well, let me show you. I'll just take a picture. Let me see. First of all, let me wipe off my front of my camera. Or, I mean, the front of my phone as best I can. Then my camera. Let me take a picture and see if you guys can kind of get a look at what's right next to me on my right side. Okay, yeah, so this is directly to the right of me, and if you see, look, there's my tripod. Whoops. There's my whip. What are we doing? There's my tripod right there. So, yeah, look at there. So there's where I keep most of the sizes that I use. Is that a? No, that's not. It's a. Let me see if I can get my camera to focus. There we go. There's where I keep most of the sizes that I use. But then I've got this one here where I've got all the bigger sizes. And I don't always have these out because I don't always need the bigger sizes. But how cool would it be if it was sitting in something prettier, matching the rest of my furniture that I have on my workspace. So yeah, this is right next to me to my right. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4 of the other versions, well, random versions to my left. And I'm not going to take a picture of that one because it is a crazy hot mess over there. And I've got like 10 projects going on at one time, and that would not be pretty. So anyway, so this one pretty much stays like this. And there's a little thingy over here that's just hanging. It's like a galvanized little hanging thing. I don't know, but I've got it clipped onto one of, not clipped, but like hanging on one of the rusty bulldog clips. The handle of it, and then I've got pencils and stuff in there. So when you hear something clankety, it's either this glass jars or the clankety clankety over here. Okay, so yeah, so there's where I keep my tape all the time. And then this is, I only bring this out when I've got to have the larger pieces out. So, and I've been using a lot of larger pieces lately, so isn't that interesting? Okay, so we'll do that last. That'll be like a add-on bonus thingy at the end or something. But yeah, okay, so garbage bowls next. So thank you guys for hanging out with me today, and hopefully I will see you in the next video. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Be sure to turn the bell notification on so you get notified every time I upload a video, and I will see you next time. Bye.